Look, we here. We're ready to rock. We're ready to go with Lamont White, the gay dating coach. Lamont, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. Are we live?
My friend, we are live and rolling with the people on all of the platforms with grape juice in hand. With grape juice in hand.
You gave me no countdown.
The people want the real deal. The people want the real deal. The real deal. Now let me go, and we'll also be live on to what is this? Are you on live on your Instagram too?
I am. I think I might be able to go live on Instagram. We'll see.
We'll go live also on the TikTok, and we'll tell the people on the TikTok to be watching. We need everybody out there, no matter what platform you're on. Now you watch on Lamont's, and we want you on that platform, but we also want you, if nothing else, to follow my page, the Zactivist on YouTube. I'm trying to grow this YouTube. I got 26 followers. I love my 2,600 strong. But bitch, by the end of July, I need to have 10,000 followers to make this platform strong and viable. I'm going to call it a damn day and quit the whole goddamn thing.
10,000. So if you are one of my YouTube followers, go ahead and make sure you follow Zach. He needs 10,000. I don't even have 10,000, but if he gets 10,000, then
we'll get you some here tonight.
Give me like 3.
Right now, we're going to see what we get. And we need people. Look, no matter what platform you're watching from, we need you to jump in. We have a treat for you. This is a really good interview. I'm really excited. I got some good. I'm proud of my questions. I'm trying to do a good.
Okay.
Last night on the show, there was somebody on that we talked about Shannon Sharp.
Oh,
and I sat my ass up here and said he's a bad interviewer. And I said he doesn't do a good job, that he lets really good commentary slide by that he can't catch. Maybe it's because he's concussed. I don't know what's going on from all that football playing. And he doesn't capture opportunities to go deeper and to really get insight and to really get revelations. And I'm like, I hope, and then I'm thinking to myself, well, what if I do that tonight? But I'm thinking, Lamont, that I'm going to be able to ask a really good question.
I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. But poor Shannon, we're praying for him.
We are praying for Shannon, and we're praying and the victim, if there is a victim, and if there isn't a victim, we're praying for that too.
I'm still
because God got it. God got it. You don't think there's a victim?
It sounds like
you know a lot. You have been engaged. You know a lot about the dating community, the sex community, probably the kink community. From looking at those text messages, do you see indications of a victim?
I do not. I see indications of someone being set up. I see indication of them having a consensual relationship and her looking for a check.
In a check. Because that's that she wanted hardcore BDSM daddy. That's what it said.
And he is foolish for even engaging with a 19-year-old. He's 50, 54?
Shannon Sharp was 56 years old at the time of the incident, and she was 20.
You messing with a mediocre 19-year-old. I want to say something else, but I'm not going to say it. She's 19, you're 56. What are you doing? He can be her grandfather. He should be with a woman who's like at least 45.
That's what Morgan Freeman did.
But
Morgan Freeman did it. Grandfather, granddaughter, step granddaughter. You remember that?
Yes. All that is transactional, and him trying to live out his dream. And if that's what you want to do, you can see it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. If that's what you want to live,
that's our first Oprah aha moment.
It comes at a cost.
He's an Aquarius. Oprah's an Aquarius. Oprah's on our favorite. Oprah is the model. Oprah is the model for how to do an interview for everybody out there. And so aha moment number 1. You can have that if you want that, but it comes at a cost.
$10 million and $50 million from Disney.
Well, let's call it out, right? Because it's going to be more than, she's suing him for $50 million. He was willing to give her 10. She's suing for 50. He's under contract for $100 million, and now he's been put on ice. So I don't know if you guys saw that today. Shannon Sharp is now saying he's voluntarily stepping back to get this under control. He'll be back during football season. He's done with ESPN. No more commentary at the moment.
Was it worth it? Is the question.
Was it worth it?
Would it
have been worth it for you?
Absolutely not.
What if it was the best kitty cat in the world?
I don't like kitty cat.
But what if you did?
It's
What if you
right
did?
there. I used to.
We're
but
gonna find out what you like. We have spicy questions for Lamont coming up. But before we go, you know how Lamont doing his show. Lamont White hosts every single Wednesday on Instagram, and then you can also catch it on YouTube. It's called
it's a
Shoot Your Shot Wednesday.
Yes.
Now that's a piece of what he does, but it really is a very small portion. It is really his kind of way of getting out his business, which is better way to meet. And Lamont's claim to fame, what Lamont does is he is a matchmaker, a gay dating coach that doesn't just matchmake, but he really gets to know his clients in a very intimate and very personal way. And he even gives counseling to help them get ready for dating if they're not there. And if you're watching on the TikTok or you're watching on the Instagram, we need you to watch it onto the YouTube. The Zacchaeus ATL is a channel. And if you are just by chance catching this on one of those platforms, click like, hearts going. But Lamont, what is your background that makes you qualified to serve as a gay dating coach? I mean, besides being gay.
Right, because being gay is not. There are a lot of people out there who are content creators. They share their experiences being single and being gay, which I think is awesome. I have a different, background. I have an undergrad in psychology. I have a master's
From where?
From Temple University in Philadelphia.
TU. Do you hear that, Temple? Do you hear that?
Master's in professional counseling. I'm also a nationally certified counselor. And I'm a nationally certified matchmaker and dating coach.
Do you hear that?
So I don't just use my experience. I look at the data. I look at what other people in my field have, taught people about relationships. There's data out there that you have to look at so that you can
explain research.
Things. It's research. And I've been a therapist since 2006, primarily with gay couples, with men who have been married, right? So that's my background.
So, and I'm gonna. Lamont's also been on TV, people, multiple times. But he was on the show. What was the show? It was Finding Love, Bravo.
Oh, Love Match Atlanta.
Love Match Atlanta. The show deserved a whole lot more. The show did not get but one season, right?
One season, and then they nixed it.
Well, they nixed it because Lamont wasn't featured. How the hell, Bravo, you roll your ass into Atlanta and you create a show around the straight matchmakers who do that work, thinking that you're going to get great content when you had the real secret sauce right here? Because this is a story. This is the real Atlanta. It should have been focused on two matchmakers, one that focused on straight relationships and one that focused on gay, because nothing else is out there. And Bravo fumbled the bag. But when you were on that show, now I don't want to throw shade at other people on the show, but I have to ask, because you just laid out some exemplary credentials. Do you find that your contemporaries who are doing straight matchmaking have credentials to match yours?
If you look at the matchmaking industry as a whole, so outside of the show, the majority of matchmakers in the United States, a lot of them come from marketing and HR and have not actually come from the counseling perspective. So if you look at that, they might have been communication specialists, or they might have been real estate agents, and then they switched over to this.
So thank you, what was said. I don't know who you are, what was said. Child, the audio is a mess. I just fucking fixed it. I just fucking fixed it. Had you said that in the beginning, I would have had it fixed then.
It's cussing the people out. It's cussing the people out. It's cussing the
Every
people.
single Wednesday, viewers, like what was said, cuss out the people on Lamont's show. They're mean as fuck to the people. So Lamont, you're used to it. You're used to it. And if that person, they'll be okay. They people know me. It's my style, my sense of humor. So that was a good political answer. But the bottom line is, Bravo missed an opportunity, and you are well qualified to do what you do, and that's why you do it so well.
I appreciate that.
You could have done so many things with this education, with your background. Why did you choose gay matchmaking?
Yeah, so I started out as a therapist, and I also work in public health, focused on issues for gay men. And when I was doing counseling, what I noticed is that I would be in sessions with two couples, and I'm like, why the hell are these two people in a whole marriage or relationship? Because the two of them don't even know each other well enough to sit in the same room. And I think a lot of couples, particularly gay men, get together out of pressure, for financial reasons, or they just were so enamored by the person that they actually did not take the time to see if they're really compatible. So I said, why don't I go back and get some training in teaching gay men to be their best selves first, and then teach them how to date and actually pick the right partner.
There's a lot of TikToks that I've seen. They talk about when you grow up being gay, you have to hide yourself and you stunt your growth, and you never get to even come into your own until much later in life. Have you seen that reality manifest with these people that you've been working with?
Absolutely. Like when I say, like with gay men, we've been taught to deny who we are, to be shamed about the type of sex we like, to that, like we have to just not be our authentic selves. And even men, including heterosexual men, they don't even get the freedom to be their full selves. So when you try to get in a relationship with a person who is afraid to be their most authentic self, that is dangerous, that's toxic, and it's challenging. So I feel like all gay men, all men, at some point need to do some counseling to unlearn that shit that society has put on us.
You're saying that it's essential that gay men go through some level of therapy, some level of counseling to help them move forward and be the best version of themselves.
Absolutely. Y'all go to the gym. Y'all will get a fitness trainer, so quickly. But when it talks about managing your anxiety, your stress, your mental health, no one wants to do that. There's a lot of stigma associated with counseling. However, I think it is a green flag if you date a guy and he says, "Oh yeah, I've been to counseling."
That's a green flag.
That's a green flag.
I want you to he moved. Listen, that was another Oprah aha moment. Okay, that was another Oprah. Get your motherfucking notebook. Get your goddamn journals.
I'm more Iyanla. I think I'm Iyanla.
You be a liar, baby. You be a liar. Because what did she say? When she was screaming to that man, screaming the hole. What was he? He was screaming down the hole. What was she saying?
Speaking to that hole.
Yeah, what was she saying?
She was saying, speaking to the hole.
Speaking to the hole.
Give it life.
The problem is, as Contessa said right here, sexual connection is a hard magnet. Some of them out here trying to speak into the hole. They're very focused on speaking into the hole, and they're not catching what he just said. Let me tell you what he just said. This is another aha moment number 2 from the video, is that you will pay big money for a trainer. You will be in the gym. You will have the perfect body, but your mental and emotional health is fucked up and in shambles. Your mental and emotional health is fucked up and in shambles. You don't even know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, there's no way that you're going to be able to be at peace in life, let alone in a relationship. I think that was a profound statement that you shared. Now we got in here right, not Alanya. So mine must be black. Beloved. It's as we said, beloved or beloved. She says beloved.
Beloved.
How she
beloved. It's beloved. Yes.
Yeah, beloved and amen. And Oprah like, Oprah. And if you're watching this on the TikTok, take your ass to the YouTube, because I'm trying to grow the YouTube. That's the whole point. Now, the next question I have here was, over the years that you have been in this work, and I think you probably just gave it, the most surprising lesson that you learned about love within the gay community. When you look at the real love that you've seen, what is the big lesson?
So I think the biggest lesson is, if you are going to get into a relationship, is, and this is key, trust that your partner can handle who you are. I don't think gay men have a problem with finding dates. Some people go on 5 dates a week. Okay, maybe every night a week they might have a new date. However, once they get into a relationship, there is this strong fear that mostly men don't want to show who they really are. And I think the reason is because they're afraid that if they show their authentic self to their partner, that their partner will leave them. And how they operate in that relationship is that if you get uncover that, is that they feel like that they are not worthy of love. So they pretend to be something else and they hide who they are in a relationship. And then the longer you're in the relationship with that person, the other person starts to see their most authentic self. And they're like, why are you lying to me? Why don't you just tell me who you are? Like, and the other person is like begging, like, show me who you are. I can handle it. Like, I can handle it.
Bitch, you walking around here wearing Timberlands and a wife beater, but at home you want to have a motherfucking panties and a hoop skirt.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm just saying it might not be that extreme.
That's extreme.
But that is I just want to make sure that I'm giving a metaphor that drives home what you're saying.
Yeah. Because we've been taught as gay men to hide who we are. So when you grow up and get into a relationship, you still are hiding who you are. And the most intimate relationships, you take that mask off and the person sees you for who you are. And they say, I rock with that. I can handle that. I can help. I'm not going nowhere.
That's like deep shit. That's amazing. That's like amazing. That's like so amazing. I didn't expect that. Like I didn't expect this in the conversation. I knew it was gonna be good, but that was really profound.
Yeah.
And so, and to surmise from that, we're gonna get that real love and real relationships lets you take the mask off.
Absolutely.
But Lamont,
absolutely.
Is that not what it is for every single Black person in America? That they have to exist in this world in a mask and full armor just to survive. And it's only in sacred spaces that they're allowed to truly be even some semblance of their authentic selves.
Your relationship, your marriage should be that safe space. If you can't find safety, if you can't find shelter, if you can't find warmth and love in your relationship, then you might want to reconsider being in that relationship. You might just want to say, maybe this is not the best option for me.
Bitch, this is the book. Do you hear me, Lamont? This is the book.
Like,
is this the book?
This is a little bit.
This is the book, bitch. Authenticity in your all of everything. Yeah. This man, I'm taking this video down. You getting the truth? I'm taking it down. I'm taking the video down because Lamont is giving us too many gems, so he can have the transcript and take the transcript to write the book on the authentic. Because that's the whole damn book.
Yeah.
An authenticity workbook, an authenticity journal to help us get to who we really are when the mask and the armor comes off.
Yeah. Because I think people are like, oh, there's piss in the dating pool. Oh, there are no good men out there. But my question, though, is how are you showing up in the dating pool? Are you, like, literally, how are you showing up?
Are you showing up? You talking about this piss in the dating pool, bitch. Are you showing up as a turd, motherfucker? Are you a turd? Are you showing up as shit?
You know. But everyone, they want to say it's somebody else, but they don't see how they contribute to it. Me too. Been there. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I think we all have contributed to the piss in the dating pool. However, we can put some bleach in the dating pool and clean that up if we just start being our authentic selves. And if you want to do that, we have to remove the judgment, the stigma.
We have to. That's our responsibility.
Because here's the thing. You can't ask people to be their true selves and then you throw them under the bus.
See, we live in a world, though, that encourages that. Here's a prime example. There's so many, and I have been for a long time extremely fascinated by marriages where one of the partners that is a heterosexual marriage that then becomes in some ways a homosexual or no longer a heterosexual marriage because one of the partners has been trans all along.
Oh, okay.
And then they, throughout the course of life, at that point in the development, they realize it, but they stay married. Where you have a wife and a husband, but the husband realizes that he's trans, but they stay together, or vice versa. And I've seen it. It's more common now. I'm seeing women who realize that they're trans and they're staying with their husbands. And it's like but that's what real love is. That to me is the ultimate sign of real love. I've always felt that, but I've never heard it. It never connected until just now.
Yeah. I think some people can fall in love with the spirit, the soul, the person, and it has nothing to do with the the physical. And I will tell you in those situations, well, one, transgender people are about less than 1% of the U.S. population.
Less than 1% of the population.
Like literally like less than 1. So this is not everybody's experience. It's like less than 1%. But I think people are fascinated by like those types of relationships. But I think they teach us that you fall in love with the soul. Because there are people who have been married for 30, 40, 50 years. That body looks different 40, 50 years later than when they first met them. They fell in love with the person and that commitment.
It's about the person.
Yeah.
And the commitment you make to that person. Mm-hmm. So a question that that's you've opened up again. So, see, I don't know nothing. You've been with a lot of questions. Because I'm thinking to myself when Lamont talked about the authentic self. Some people reject you for your authentic self, Lamont. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. As I have been single for about a year and a half, one thing I have noticed is that people who I've met either out and about or on dating sites, when I show them my social media presence, they be like, "It's a rap, bitch." I don't get no. Yeah, people hate that. You either love it or you hate it, and I think I do believe that's the Scorpio curse. Like when you meet us, you love us or you hate us. Many people, it's like an immediate reaction, and that's why I feel like, nothing I can do about it.
Well, here's the thing: because you have a social media presence, you have a platform. I think the person that is going to fall in love with you is going to understand the difference between the social media and the one when the lights turn off. You want him to fall in love with the person when you're not on social media.
They're gonna fall in love when the lights turn off. Well, but it's about when the lights come back on.
You know what I mean?
Like, the problem is the lights. I don't have a problem when the lights go off. It's when the lights come back on. And then people feel like
I'm talking about the ring light, friend. The ring light. The ring light. The ring light.
You might have a ring light on too. You never know. You will never see. I swear to God. I promise you. If you ever see whoever may show it, your ass is grass and you're out of here.
You got only fans over there.
Only secrets from a Scorpio that you'll never ever know. Now, in your work with clients, what has been the biggest misconception that you have found that gay men have walked into your sessions with about love and relationships? The biggest misconception where they walk in, you're finding this is a common misconception.
Yeah. So you sent me that question in advance. I was like, what is it? What is it? What is it? I think it is that finding a husband and staying in a relationship is supposed to be natural. It's supposed to be like, we're just supposed to make this happen. It's supposed to just
flow,
be easy, and fall into place.
I hope my ex see this video.
And I want to tell you that is the trick of the devil, because relationships, dating, it's work. And when I say it's work, it's effort. It's time that you have to plan to spend time with your partner. It's time that you have to say, hey, I want to woo you. Yes, I said woo you, because you feel like, let me say not you, some gay men feel like it's the other guy's job to woo them. And it should be a tennis match going back and forth where you're each trying to make the other person feel special, to feel desired, to feel seen. And that is not just like, I'm just sitting back and just waiting for it to happen and see what happens.
Can I push back?
Please.
I want to before I push back. Push. Look at it. You see that? You see that? He's married. Ryan is married. That David Yerman. He's married. So, because it's not always easy, is what you're saying. Because a lot of gay men, and I'm so happy. Hopefully I'm sharing this with a diverse audience, right? A lot of gay men don't unfortunately have gay models. Right. And what they see, and they're piecing together a semblance of what it should be from what they see online. And so they only see the best of the best online. They have no idea what these couples have gone through and how hard marriage is in general.
Yeah.
And they think it's supposed to be one way. And because they saw it online, they see the images, but they don't know anything about the story behind the pictures. And I think that that's a very powerful moment. And same thing you said, that it is work.
It is work. It is work. And I will tell you, there are a lot of gay men. Like when I say gay men, y'all be boss at work. When I say boss, efficient, like gay men are the most resilient individuals that I know.
The one that can pay him.
Listen, there are a lot of gay men. A lot of gay men are successful, intelligent, and they have that energy. They turn that switch on when they go to work. Like they do that at work. But when they come home, they feel like they should have to turn it off. Like literally, they turn into a different person. And I will tell you, men are attracted to your entire self. So that boss person that you are at work, they want to see that come home. You don't turn that shit off.
You don't get to turn off.
No.
Two things I gotta push back. See, I'm gonna push back. I need to just turn off TikTok because I don't want my ex to see if I'm. So, but here's the thing. Earlier when you talked about what if you have a partner who doesn't need to be wooed, and I know that sounds crazy, but like again, I'm a wooer. I love to woo. I do. I love to chase you. I love to woo you. I love to make you feel like you're the most important person in the world, because if I have chosen you, you absolutely are. Like I probably have lost opportunities with new dates by saying again, I do believe that my ex was damn near perfect. He's perfect to me. And I still see him in that way. I don't know. I actually feel very uncomfortable being wooed. And I'm sure it's rooted in childhood trauma because I also hate gifts. I love to give gifts. Lamont has a great gift, people. I have him I can't wait to give it to him. My love language is gifting. I'm a gifter. I show love by giving gifts, but I receive love by acts of service. If you could do something like you coming here tonight, taking time out of a very busy life to spend time with me, means more than anything. So therefore I can so I'm like, So what if you know your partner? You have to be like, is it not appropriate to kind of give and take? And be like, you know what? I know Zach can't be rude, so let me just give him what I can give him that's gonna make him happy. Zach, you can be wooed. You literally just told the world how you can be wooed. How can I be wooed? Acts of service. So, and acts of service is my top love language, how I receive love. So the smallest thing, like if my husband puts gas in my car. Yeah. It means so much. I'm like, oh my goodness. It means a lot. Or he washed my car. That woos me. You can buy me something. I'll be like, okay, I can buy that myself. But if you do something as little as that makes me smile. That makes me feel safe. It makes me feel secure. Toilet wipes coming from Costco. No, I'm so serious. Toilet wipes arriving at the house on a Tuesday from Costco. It makes me so happy. But no, I'm gonna tell you this, and this I think I told people this before. Let me tell you how I bagged my husband. Let me tell you. Yeah, we need to know the story. Wait. Go to watch on the YouTube. The whole point of this is I'm trying to build a YouTube. You got 100 and you got 61 folks on Twitter. Leave the Twitter and come to the YouTube. Come on to YouTube and make sure you all like the video. Are y'all on Wi-Fi and do not disturb? Oh, should we be on the Wi-Fi? You know, we are streaming from 2 different platforms. Maybe it's hopefully it's getting better. Hopefully it's not bad. Mine's too. The little thing, acts of service, and then they can't handle it. So okay, we're ready for the story. How he bagged his husband. Yes. So while we were dating, we would stay at each other's house, at different times. I got up and ironed his clothes in the morning. Every morning. Well, if I stayed the night over there. Yeah. I would get up there. I'm like, what you wearing? He goes, oh, I'm wearing this. He'd go in the shower. I pressed his clothes. No man has pressed his clothes. And that was a gift. I mean, yeah. Because that man was trying to sleep. I'm not gonna get me one of them. Let me tell you something. If you wake up at 8 o'clock to go to work 5 o'clock. I'm tell you, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna take that cover, that comforter, and cover my head up. Don't fucking bother me. I'm still asleep.
But it's.
I had to put the work in the night before. I'm still asleep.
Well, you got to put an extra mile, okay? Instead of going another round, get your ass off the bed and earn your man's clothes.
I gotta have that extra round because it might be my last round. I live my life close to the edge, brother. I live my life close to the edge. When you look at like, you gave us some great insight just now into like the nature of like really healthy relationships. You've given a lot of really good insight. Healthy relationships strive. I won't say struggle, but they strive. They constantly work. They constantly push. They constantly grow and evolve. When you think about the successful, healthy relationships that you've seen, what are 3 traits or habits that continuously show up?
One is communication. When I say communication, I think in a relationship, you have to understand that there are 2 different individuals that have 2 different ways of thinking. They have 2 different logics. They use different terminology. So you will always be learning and trying to understand what the hell your partner is saying. Okay? And interpret what they're saying so that when I say communication is key, if you say something to me, I might have to say, okay, I heard you say this. Well, what's the intent behind that? Communication is something that you always have to do. If you don't master learning how to communicate with each other, your relationship is going to fail.
It's going to fail.
Yeah. I think the next one is commitment.
Communication, commitment. Tell us about it.
So
this is controversial.
You have to decide every day that you are going to show up for that relationship.
Every day.
Every fucking day.
You have to decide you're going to
every
show
day.
up
every
for that
day.
relationship.
Mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally. You have to decide. You can't, I'm going to take a break this month.
You don't get a break.
You might say, hey, I'm struggling in this area. Financially, I'm struggling. Emotionally, I don't feel connected. But you have to decide to say, hey, I'm going to try to show up for this relationship. And a lot of people don't want to be committed.
And they need to own that. A lot of aha moment number, really 26, but call out number 3. People who need to own it and know that you really don't want to be committed. So stop lying to yourself, making it seem as though you want a relationship and a commitment when you really don't.
You want a situationship.
And that's okay. Because it's your life.
You want good times. You don't want the struggle. You don't want the hard times.
Luther Vandross said, I'd rather have bad times with you instead of good times with somebody else. Yeah. One of my favorite songs, and I really do think that that's a true hard marker when you know you are in love, is that the argument, the bad time, the angry times, the sad times are better with that person than a good time, a vacation, a trip with someone else. That's when you know it's real love.
Preach. And the last thing is, you said 3.
So we got 3. We got communication. We have commitment.
And the last C is conflict.
We went back to conflict. Because there are people out here who are hearing this and cognitive dissonance has kicked in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
In full transparency. Yeah. My ex and I made it for 8 years and had 1 bonus year. But in that time frame, he truly was of the philosophy that a relationship should be easy. It should be the joy of your day. It should make you happy every day. And if he was hearing this, he would immediately check out. Because again, you are truly reiterating because we are in 100% alignment. Yeah. A marriage is work.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah. And when I say conflict, it's about being okay with having uncomfortable conversations. Talking about the elephants in the room, saying, oh, that's my insecurities, or I didn't like when you did X, Y, and Z. No, some people rather just retreat 100% instead of challenging what's going on, or they go full throttle and they become toxic and violent and abusive. Really healthy relationships, they know how to have conflict. conflict is good for the relationship. It actually helps it to grow. It pushes you to be a better version of yourself, and it pushes your relationship to grow.
I'm taking notes in my journal, and I'm gonna have to work with Lamont on conflict because I'm a conflict avoider. You don't know, you don't believe me. Let me tell you, you see me on social media, and you know I bring the motherfucking to a motherfucker. I bring the motherfucking to a motherfucker. But in my real personal life, I avoid conflict. If Lamont hurts my feelings, I'm unlikely to tell Lamont he hurt my feelings because I know, or my previous experiences, it's not fair to say I know. My life experiences taught me that when I confront people, it always ends up hurting them more than they hurt me in the first place. And I don't like to hurt people that I care about. So I just deal with it.
Can I teach you something?
Teach me!
If someone does or says something that rubbed you the wrong way, it's okay to take a deep breath and say, what did you mean by that?
Or why did you do that?
What do you mean by that?
Okay. To get clarity.
Because
that goes back to communication.
It's communication. It's commitment to the relationship that you want, and then it's managing conflict. It's, hey, what do you mean by that? Because that could be your shit, or that could be that person really being rude.
But what if someone does something that hurts your feelings or offends you, like an action they did?
Right. So, did you intend to do that?
Well, yeah. Many times they don't.
Well, no, but like, so did you intend to hurt me? Yes, I intended to hurt your fucking feelings. Why? Right. Because that puts the ball back into their court. Did you mean to be? No, I didn't mean to be rude to you. I really meant X, Y, and Z. It's navigating uncomfortable conversations, but we're so wrapped up into, I've been hurt, I've been offended. I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to manage this appropriately. I guess they'll disengage instead of saying, what was that about? What was that about? You say I changed my voice?
Yes.
What was that about? What you want to say is, what the? Right? Instead, you say,
they say we communicate by our Mercury sign. Unfortunately, I'm a Sagittarius. Mercury is the worst Mercury to have because they just let the shit out. That's what I do. But it just comes out so harsh.
But so what you do is
I'm gonna work on that.
Practice it in the mirror. Go to the mirror. My Pittsburgh accent comes out.
No, yeah.
In the mirror, just practice saying and fix your face and just
that's
say,
not possible. But I'll work on it.
I understand. That's you gotta look. That's why you gotta look and be like, what do you mean by that? Try it.
I'm gonna work on it. But you know how my face is.
Try it. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, you can do it.
What did you mean by that? I know my face is saying.
Now, was that hard?
It wasn't hard, but I know my face was like, what the fuck you mean, bitch? What the fuck you mean, bitch? I know my face. I've had it the whole time. It's very hard not to do and fix it. And it's not to blame the Sags. I'm just saying I have a lot of Sagittarius in my birth chart. And I think that is why I communicate the way I do, because Sagittarius don't hold back. They take that arrow and they let it go and it hits where the fuck it hits. And they usually don't miss. And that's why I try to be so, I'd rather keep my words in and let my words out because my words are very effective and powerful and they hurt when I'm angry. Lamont, we got some questions from the people in the audience. They're gonna answer questions. If you're watching on the TikTok, please come to the YouTube.
Hey, TikTok.
And if you're watching on the X Twitter platform, because Elon Musk is bullshit, come over to the YouTube. The first one is, how do you make sure that you keep your masculinity at a level where your partner doesn't feel belittled?
How do you keep your masculinity?
But I don't necessarily think that Contessa necessarily means masculinity. I think she means that when you have like two men in a relationship, how do you balance the power dynamics of both of them being men, both of them being maybe more inclined to dominant? So you tell me your answer, then I'm gonna tell you my answer.
And I will tell you. So my husband is a Sagittarius. I'm an Aquarius. We both have very strong personality. Very dominant. Like I know myself. I can't be with an introvert. And I can't be with a passive personality because I'm very, rah. Like,
if you're an introvert or you're passive, you are not for Lamont.
No.
Bitch, you're for me. Come on home, baby. Daddy's here.
You'll just be like, this man is too much for me, right?
And I'll say you're just right for me.
So it is definitely about, again, this is work. It is both of you all being able to read the fucking room. When I say read the room, you have to learn your partner's triggers. You have to learn when you both are getting heated. You have to learn when you need a break. Like, there are times where I'm like, I'm having a conversation and I'm like, you know what? I need to go walk the dog because what I'm about to say right now is not going to help the situation. So what do I have to do? I go get the dog and I go out the house and I call one of my best friends. I vent to them and then I come back and say, you know what? I'm in a better place to have this conversation. It's work, it's effort. It is effort. Yeah.
I would say it's always easier when one partner is dominant and one partner is more submissive.
Now, when you got two strong personalities, it is.
Well, that's true. Now, I will say that, and what I have, I will be honest and transparent, because I think people wonder when people who knew me and my ex would kind of wonder the dynamic. They're like, physically, you look like it would be this, and it really kind of probably was that. And my partner both of us are very, we own our sexual identities very well. But when you would see us interact, it would be something different because he's a very dominant, like, little guy. And I think the key would be, again, even though it would be in different places in life, it would be one thing, but then in intimate ways it would be the other thing. It was a great balance.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes that also helps the ebb and flow of things.
Yeah. I also say to answer that question more is that you have to want the relationship to win instead of being right.
It's about right.
It's about the relationship.
It's not about being right.
It's not about I'm proving you wrong.
Moment number 4.
And these two,
you have to want the relationship to win.
Masculine energy. If that's more important, guess what? You will always fucking fail. If you want the relationship to really thrive, you say, what is going on here? Like, what is he really trying to say? Why is he upset? What did I do? Let me own my stuff. Or I'm not ready to own my stuff. Give me a moment. And then you come back.
I shouldn't say this. But if I say anything I shouldn't say, you can blame it on the grape juice. It's grape juice. Welch's best.
Yeah, me too.
But I think some of y'all need to stop the sword fighting and start trying to put the lock in the key and lock it down. I hate to say it, but I just gotta put that out there.
Yes.
So Keon said, first he said, can you find me a situationship? But
that's not my ministry.
But then this is the real question. Lamont, do you do work with poly couples looking for an additional partner? Instead of Keon is saying he would like to be somebody's 3rd, 4th, or 5th in a harem of gay foolishness.
To answer your question, if you were in a couples session with me, I would...
And it would cost money.
I would work with you all to figure out, one, if that is actually healthy for you all's relationship. Also, I would help you all to decide how you would do that, where you would look for that, and how that might sustain your relationship.
Charge for that? You got 3 husbands. How you charge for that?
So I do couples counseling. So
would it be a flat rate for the throuple? Is throuples counseling the same as couples counseling? Excuse me, as a price range?
Price is the same. Dynamics are different.
Yeah.
But it's
I'll
still
charge more because you deal with it. I've got to charge a little bit more.
There's an extra person in here.
It's person you got to listen to.
But I do not do matchmaking for 2 couples who are currently together looking for a 3rd. That's not my expertise.
That's not your ministry. That's not what you're called to do.
No.
You're focused on couples.
Typically, for counseling, couples or individuals for coaching, but for the matchmaking service, typically there are guys who come to me who just want one husband and not 2. Yeah.
That's the typical. But what if they came with 2?
What if they came with 2?
Would you say I'm willing to tackle this
to match them with somebody?
No, are you? Oh, yeah. I mean,
Are you talking about coaching
so
or
let's
matching?
let's do both. Let's say that we are, it's me and 2 husbands, and we're having issues. Would you counsel us?
Absolutely.
If it's me and 2 husbands, and we're like ready to add in a 4th,
Okay.
we want a new husband. Would you help us find a new husband?
Not through matchmaking.
Okay, you would do something different.
I would coach and counsel you all to do that,
and let you and give them some strategies, techniques, and tools on their own.
Exactly. Yes.
So here's something that was said from what was said. How do we intentionally interact with someone we like and not automatically fall into cisgender heteronormative dynamic? How do we not do that as gay men? Just because of a tie doesn't mean we want to take out the trash?
Yeah. So we have most of our blueprints or our models are of a woman and a man courting each other. And I will tell you that there are 2 men in that relationship, right? So you have to actually learn the person in front of you and see how they like to be courted. No person is the same. So when you go on a date, you literally, first date, you should be like, tell me some of your interests. What makes you smile? How do you feel like, your desire? Like, you have to ask people to get to know who they are. So then you can figure out how to show up. Ask them what their love language is. And that's how you court them.
I'm going to admit, I shouldn't admit that I'm going to. I didn't take out the trash. Not because I didn't like taking out the trash, but it's that I never woke up in time to take out the trash. The first time I forgot, my ex was so mad because he's such a type A anal little fucker.
Oh my God.
He was so fucking mad. He was mad for about 3 days, walking around like I guess that he's like, I'll just get it myself. And he went up at the crack of dawn to get that trash out. But now I take the trash out without fail.
Now you gotta take that damn trash
choice. I'm gonna be sitting my ass in the house living in trash. So,
But so there are dynamics. Some people subscribe to heteronormative, values. If that works for your relationship, have at it. If not, you're a gay man. You get to create what works for you.
Keon just did a little slice at me where he said, Lamont, thank you for always being kind, sweet, and non-judgmental. Listen, I always catch the shade.
We listen and we don't judge.
I don't. That's a fucking lie. I judge my ass off. I'm an ENTJ. But that's okay. It's just who I am, living in my truth. Contessa brings up a good point, and I really believe in this too. This is the only thing that attracts me to even the near possibility of a throuple or a quadruple is that when you have more bodies, you got more money.
Well, friend, let me tell you.
You can buy this house and the house next door and the house right here when it gets foreclosed.
We had this conversation on my show yesterday.
Let's talk about it. I didn't see it.
And I feel like...
Don't lose a thought. Every single Wednesday night, you are missing top tier gay entertainment. I know I have some beautiful sisters watching this. You miss some damn good entertainment on Wednesdays when you don't watch Shoot Your Shot. You can catch Shoot Your Shot live on Instagram, but you can catch the replay on the Gay Dating Coaches YouTube channel. It's always excellent. I never miss an episode.
Yes, we have a good time, and we were talking about poly relationships, and the majority of poly relationships I've seen in the gay community, the third one is not making a whole bunch of money. Like the third partner in that relationship is usually
a drain.
No, tell it like it is. Not contributing financially. They contribute in other ways.
Like
sex, they clean the house, they're fun, they bring, something fresh and new to the relationship.
That 20-year-old with Shannon Sharp.
It's not worth it. So here's my thing.
It comes with a cost.
If you're going to be in a poly relationship, I feel like all of you all should be bosses. Like you should have 3 amazing incomes lives. Yeah. But the majority aren't.
That's the reality that you've seen. In that. And so we got some great oh my God, the comments have just blown up. Let me wait. I don't want to miss
a subscriber over there.
And we're happy to have you. And so Lamont, I know it sounds like a dumb question, but what's the distinction between a straight couple's wedding and a gay wedding?
What's the distinction? Well, it's just same sex and then opposite sex.
That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you gone to a lot of gay weddings?
I actually have never. No, I've been to one. Because no, I went to 3 gay weddings.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Do they differ from
They're the same.
the same?
They're the same.
No difference.
No. There's just 2 men, and they believe that their God is okay with them being gay.
That's the difference. Contention is if I'm going to be somebody's third, I'm going to be the baby, and you're going to buy me everything.
See, and that's the third is always the one who is, the eye candy.
And they, that's what you found
Mm-hmm.
to be the situation or the case.
Or the top.
And you have 2 bottoms. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and they need a top and that's what that person serves that purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That top getting wore out. That top is getting wore out. I'm just telling you, that's a special kind of top.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you 1, 2, 3, 4 sometime, but not all the damn time.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's an expectation, mean you got me here just for this?
That's you got one job.
Right. That's too much pressure.
One job.
The pressure is getting worse.
One job.
So, what do you think makes dating as a gay man a challenge compared to dating as a straight person?
Yeah, I think because of some of the things we talked about, I think there are not institutions that actually support 2 men being together.
The institutions don't support it. When you say institutions, what do you mean?
I'm talking about churches, the government, schools, community groups, education, like images of gay men in long-term relationships and varied type of relationships. That's a whole institution. And heterosexual
Another
people.
aha moment. Do you hear that?
Y'all got that from histories of that. Gay marriage has only been legal in the United States for 10 years in June. 10 years.
And you fucking threw it away, America. Do you hear that? You threw it away. Donald Trump.
10 years. 10 years. So we are in a constant experience of creating our own spaces, bumping our heads to figure it out, and building our own communities and institutions to do that. Yeah.
And I think, 10 years.
10, yeah.
Gay people in this country have only been married for 10 years.
10, yeah.
And look at the pushback. Look at where we are now. And it's only been 10 years.
Yeah. And about 62% of gay men identify as single. So that's a lot.
Wait a minute. Repeat that.
62% of gay men identify as being single.
62%.
62
of gay men identify as single?
Yeah.
They're not. Oh, wow.
So there are a lot of single people out there, and there are a lot of opportunities for you to meet somebody if you're single. So there's hope.
How do you feel as a gay dating coach about the apps?
Oh, like dating,
dating apps, like meeting someone on Tinder, Hinge, Grindr.
So
Jack.
So
we black over here, Jack.
So I am a fan of dating apps.
You're a supporter.
As a gay dating coach, I'm a fan of dating apps. And the reason why I'm a fan of dating apps is they serve different purposes for different individuals. If you are looking for hookups, boom, they're right there. If you're looking to meet friends, you can meet them on the apps. If you're looking to find love and a husband, you can do that on the dating app. You just have to do it in a certain way. And I say a certain way, you literally have to put your face picture out there.
You have to put it out there.
Treat it like social media. Treat it like
not your other picture.
Not your torso, not your cakes, not your D. All that is going to get you
whole,
not your starfish.
The whole hole, not the starfish.
Yeah. So I teach people how to
have
use
that starfish out there. You might hook a big one. I don't know if I agree. Got to push back. I got to push back.
might be hot for the night, but if you want something that is like more long term,
some of us are very simple, and the visuals are all we need to be happy for a long time.
Most of the starfishes don't even photograph well, so please do something different, please.
It may be an acquired taste, literally. So it's great. I think, and one thing, Riley is here. Riley, I'm gonna address this. Here's a reason why I'm even doing this. I'm having dinner parties because a friend of mine talked about the lack of models for LGBTQ young people who are like in Gen Z and younger, and that people are getting representations that are not necessarily us, like me and Lamont. We're here, but when you see me on social media, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about politics, people in pop, but not this. And so here's a question from a young person. They want to know, how do you two feel about homophobic parents? And Lamont, I know, I'll kind of jump in first, but I'm sure we're not going to have the same answer. Now, Riley, this is my honest opinion on it. God gives us to our parents and our parents to us because it's a part of a journey. And there are forks in every road and decisions that have to be made. A lot of people think, and this is where I think a lot of people will lose their faith or question their faith, but a lot of people do really lose it. When they look at what's happening in the world and they say to themselves, how can this happen and there be God? Or how can there happen and there be faith? Or how can there happen and there be goodness in the existence of the universe? When you look at it, I don't know your faith. I don't have to, because I believe that all faiths are valid, all people are valid. But I'm a Christian. I come from a Christian theology, and that's what I'm sharing with you. In the Christian theology, Adam and Eve existed, and they had a choice. It was the free will given to human beings given to man by God, and they chose to eat of the tree of knowledge, as opposed to the tree of, where they could have had eternal life and live forever and all this, but they didn't. They made a choice, and they had to suffer the consequences. Right now in America, we had a choice in November, and we chose, and we're living with the consequences of the choice. I believe that homophobic parents have a choice to love their kid or not, and the kid has a choice to obey their parents or not, and vice versa. Personally, I feel as though homophobic parents have to learn to get over the homophobia to love their child. And their child has to then make choices based upon whether they do that or not. I know that for my mother, it couldn't have been necessarily easy to have me as a child. I'm 100% positive it was difficult from damn day one. To have me as a child was difficult from day one. But she rose to the occasion. And when she learned that I was gay, I know that was also probably difficult. She realized that I wasn't like other children, because she realized very young that he is not normal. He is not average. He is not ordinary. And that was tough for her, because she really wanted an ordinary child. It would have made, I think, life easier for her. She would have probably been happier with that. But she adjusted. And then on top of me not being ordinary or average, damn, he's gay. That was probably hard for her too. But she knew that she had to quickly, because she knows her son. Because Deborah Kirk would have been a forgotten memory a long time ago had she rejected me. And she made a choice that, I think we both are thankful that she made, to not reject. So, but had she done it, I would have been forever lost to her. And I think that it's important for parents and children to have really hard conversations. And I think it's important for you as a child to do all you can to keep the relationship and salvage it. But when it becomes harmful and detrimental to you, you have to protect yourself and your peace.
Yeah. Listen, you just preached the whole sermon over here. I guess you like, and did.
Water to wine, wine to grape juice.
So, what's this, Riley? You probably will not like my response, but it's okay. It's all with love. I feel like if parents are homophobic, anti-gay, it definitely makes me question their level of intelligence. Because when their homophobia typically is rooted in their faith, their Christianity. And I feel like the fact of the matter is that the Bibles with the books within the Bible are a collection of different people's experience, their viewpoint on the life of Christ and their interaction with God. And most of you are looking at the King James version of the Bible, which was written by a bisexual man.
Well, King James, he had many male lovers.
A bisexual man. So I just want you to understand that you are condemning a group of people from a bisexual man's hand.
Who was homophobic.
Who was homophobic himself.
Who changed and altered the word a lot. A lot.
So I say question everything. And if you are a child experiencing that, do what you have to do to grow up and get out of that situation and find aunties and uncles or friends that can support you.
Contessa, you can go on YouTube. There's tons of really great documentaries about it. I thought about making a series about the life of King James and his older lover, who basically he was given to as a child to protect this man. He was under threat for his life because he came after Elizabeth. It was like, who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the king? Who's going to be in? So he was given to this older man who was probably his first lover. But he had like a lot of children too. Now, because the whole concept of homosexuality really wasn't real in his mind as a king. And then he had other lovers. And so it's a whole series that you can learn all on YouTube when you research the life of King James. Contessa says, do you still ask your parents for permission to get married to your spouse? Did your husband talk to your parents and vice versa?
No. Because I'm not property. And he's not property.
I have never been married, but I'm not gonna be. This be about being honest and transparent. I have asked, and I absolutely went to this man's mother, and we had a long. We've had multiple talks about, may I marry your child? Before we actually dated, I talked to his mother. Before we moved in together, I talked to his mother. Before we bought another house, I talked to his mother.
So I laugh because we don't subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So the way that we subscribe is that I am the master of my life,
and you are.
My parents. I love my parents. My husband gets along great with my parents. No issues. So we did not have to ask for permission. No, because I'm like, no.
And to be fair, on the flip end, my ex talked to my mom all the time. They were very close. He was instrumental in prolonging her life with his knowledge and the things that he knew in the medical field and how he pushed on the doctors who were not giving her adequate care. It made a difference. It did. So I think it was vice versa. I think we both were doing that.
Yeah.
Making sure that the moms were happy with the choices their sons had made.
No, I for the sake of the relationship, we both make sure we get along with each other's family members. Like that is important because we know family is big to us. So we make sure that, we call each other's family members just to form a relationship. But there was no permission to do anything on anything that we decided to do because I feel like I believe that it's rooted in patriarchy. And I'm like, no, there's no woman. There's no one in control. So we didn't do that.
Spoken like a true Aquarius. They're futuristic. They live beyond us. Their minds are, their ideas of justice and life. And it's much bigger than most of us can understand. I have learned that about the Aquarius.
Yeah. And everybody doesn't subscribe to it because they're like, y'all a little crazy.
A little bit, yes. To subscribe to those norms. But the norms give me comfort, if that makes sense.
Some norms, yes. Some do. Yeah.
Now, we talk about the dating apps, and you're supportive of that. We like it.
I am. Yes.
What are the most common mistakes that men make when trying to date? When it's other men, what are the mistakes?
Oh, it's this damn texting that you all do after the dates.
The texting.
It is hard to get to know another individual via text message.
You say, yeah, pick up the phone.
You have got to pick up the phone. You have to do a video chat. You got an iPhone or Android. What you got?
I have an iPhone. I'm an iPhone guy.
So y'all got FaceTime, right?
Yeah, we have FaceTime.
FaceTime the man. After your date, click the green thing. see each other. Their text messaging shows that you are afraid. Well, let me say you're not afraid. I won't say you are only creating a fantasy of the person in your head if you're going to continuously text a person, because you're not really trying to get to know the person. You're stuck on that fantasy. You're stuck there.
So Summer said, "Well, I don't like the I'm the biggest hater of FaceTime. Me and Summer, we a match, girl.
Mhm.
We hate FaceTime.
Well,
But we can call. I don't mind call.
You can call. You can even use. There's an app called Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
So you can send different videos at different times, and people can.
I'm going off camera to put more grape juice.
People can send videos to each other at different times, right? So and I think that's really good for people who are dating long distance and people work throughout the day. Send a little video because, hey, I was thinking about you, wanted to say hello. But instead, you all want to text, grand rising, sup, good night.
What do they text?
How's your day going? No, call the man.
I just want to say, you all just saw me stick my finger in my wine glass, in my grape juice glass to pull out some cork because there was cork in the grape juice. I do apologize. That was uncouth. But I'm going to delete the damn live anyway. So it'll be fine. I'm going to get the clips I want and the world moves on. So that's true. I mean, I do. I'm going to be honest. And it's going to sound horrible what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. But it's the truth. And I agree with you. Mm-hmm. You're right. You are right. Mm-hmm. I don't like to FaceTime, nor do I like to call because I like to multitask. But I know, Lamont, and I'm going to own up to what that means. That means I'm not giving my date their due time, for the time they deserve. So I am going to commit myself to adding that to my list of things that must be. Yeah. I must pick up the phone and engage in conversations as much as I hate talking on the phone.
I will tell you.
Only because I like to multitask and I'm not being fair to the people I'm dating.
And nobody is that busy.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Look, let me tell you. Nobody's that busy.
Nobody's
that busy. If a man wants something, he will make time for what he wants.
A man will make time for what he wants. And if that man is not giving you time, then that man does not want you.
I will tell you, there are cheating men who will sneak out the house to make sure they can call and text their side piece, okay?
Because that's what they want.
Because that's what they want. That's what they want. So I will tell you, men do what they want, okay? They will leave their job to go do what they want to do, okay? I'm just saying, they will find a way if they really want a way. I'm just saying.
Well, so another what? Ain't nobody that, well, I just damn said it, unlimited. You are right. You are right. We all of those who are like me, we would do a better job. We would do a better job. Now, what about the red flags that people often overlook, Lamont? Because you do a great job of talking. You see the red flag. So on Lamont's show on Wednesday night, the gays be at home, keyboard warriors. They'll never pop their big asses on the motherfucking screen. But they'll be critiquing the hell out of them poor guests. Putting red flags as soon as somebody says the wrong thing. There's no grace given. No grace from the gays. But Lamont, what are the red flags? Because they be all over the chats on the IG.
I think one, if you are intentional about dating, I'm not saying you're just like, oh, I'm just casually going with the flow, I guess we'll hook up. I'm saying if you're intentionally about dating, you should have a list of your red flags. And I say red flags, these are things that you're like,
it's personal to you.
It is absolutely personal.
So what are yours?
What are my red flags?
What if you were single in this world, and what are the things that you absolutely would definitely see as a red flag, and it would be like, absolutely not.
I could never date a man that was not working.
What?
You're like, what? You want to throw something at me? You need to have a job. You
gotta have a job if you want to be with me.
Because I never want to take care of a man. Now, if stuff changes in life, I will take care of my husband. But going into a situation, No, you need to have a job, even if it's just enough to pay the light bill. That's fine. We can contribute your check to the light bill.
He
But-
lying, baby. He wants you to put down that half or more.
No. I don't believe in 50
Okay, it's not 50-50.
I do not believe in 50.
It makes sense. Okay.
I feel like you contribute. One of the things I've learned from my father is that if you don't work, you don't eat.
He stands by that.
And it is ingrained in me. So it's about your ambition. It's about your investment and being a provider for yourself and the family.
I don't necessarily agree, but
You're like, no, I'm listening.
I don't mind a stay-at-home husband. I don't mind a stay-at-home husband. I understand. There was a great question that I think that came in. Oh yeah, do you have children?
So I have young adults now. I actually have, story. My husband and I, we took custody of his nephews when his sister passed away, and they were both in middle school when we got them. They're both now graduating from college next month.
2 college graduates.
Yes. So we have been co-parenting, oh my God, for almost about 8 years, a long time. Yeah.
A long time. And so I know you're very proud.
Oh my God, it's a little longer. Yeah.
That's a hard road to hoe. And thank God that you and your husband were there for them. It's hard. It's very difficult.
Amazing young men. But I will tell you, it's work because that changes the dynamic of a relationship where there's just 2 of you. And then now you're co-parenting and you're dealing with 3 individuals who are grieving all at the same time.
You're dealing with 2 children and a brother.
Yes. So talk about stepping up and being in a relationship. You have to grow and support your husband.
You had to step up and be there.
Oh, absolutely.
And put a lot of shit on the side. That was hard.
I would say I didn't have to put anything on the side because I'm an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
I just stepped up more in the relationship. Yeah.
How many years have you guys been married? And Kenny has a good question here.
So we've been married for 5 years and we've been together for almost 11.
Almost 11 years. So how do you keep the spark going? And I'm going to let you tell the spark why I forgot to take the dessert out of the refrigerator.
Oh, goodness. So how do we keep the spark on? I think I'm not going to give y'all all my business. But we were intentional about making sure that we have our time. When I say our time, it's time that we get to celebrate each other and enjoy each other. Yeah.
Our time.
Yeah.
You guys vacation a lot? We take your trips and
we travel, we vacation, we have date nights, which does not involve the children.
Have date nights.
You got
11 years, you have planned date nights.
And I will tell you, a date night is not Netflix.
It's not Netflix and chill.
And it's not going to the club.
What is it? Give us some of these date nights. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
love dating. I love dating.
Yeah. Going to Bulldogs is not a date. And sitting watching a movie is not a date. No, let's go bike riding. Let's go axe throwing. Let's go to the beach. Let's go dancing. That's a date. And then it has to end with sex for me. I tell my husband.
That's a date night.
A little something. Yeah.
It's the end of a date night.
That's a good date night.
I agree. I agree with that. I love that. Now, red flags. Okay. Now it's getting a little hot in here. Gay culture, in some ways, is sometimes connected to hookup culture. And when you look at, hookup culture, what are your thoughts on hookup culture in the gay community and how it impacts relationships?
So I feel like hookup culture exists not only in the gay community, it exists in the heterosexual community as well. There's this extra level of shame and stigma that we put on gay men for being sexually free that I feel like is unfair. And I think we have to recreate the narrative that everyone has a different value on sex. For some people, sex is more sacred. It's reserved for someone that you're like, I'm in love with, I'm in a committed relationship, I'm married. Those types of people, you know who you are. You should not engage in casual sex. So when you go out and date other people, you should ask questions. Hey, what do you like? Literally,
Yeah.
what value do you place on sex? Do you like casual sex? Do you feel like sex is something that is like when you're in a committed relationship? Ask that shit up in the first, second date so you can figure out if the person's good.
70% of a happy gay marriage is sex. 70%. If you don't have good sex and you're not sexually happy, it's dead on arrival.
Where'd you get that stat?
I made it up. In my life. So I love the fact that Kenny is here. Kenny's one of my best friends. Kenny, I love you. I love you, girl. You know, he knows my ass. He knows our dynamic. He knows, and he knows like we may not have agreed on anything in any given day, but if at the end of the day, everything was perfect. With me, I'm very simple people. I'm simple as hell. I'm such a simple guy. If the sex is good, it's all good in the home. I know that's horrible to admit. Is that bad to admit? It don't matter because it's all getting erased anyway.
Y'all will ignore red flags for some good D and some good cakes. You will ignore red flags for good D and good cakes.
I will. I don't care about them flags. I hate to say this. I gotta do better. Let me tell you something I learned, Lamont. This was a profound realization. And that's why I'm going to erase this. I had went on a date with someone, beautiful young man, credentials, everything like, ooh, what a winner. Mm-hmm. But we were in the car and he reached over and he grabbed my hand. And I'm like, don't touch me. Hold your own hand. Don't hold my hand. Mm-hmm. It was our first date too now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, we're not at the level of comfortability. And I realized I could have probably engaged in a different kind of intimate act with no question, no hesitation, no problem. Yeah. But the hand holding was too intimate of an act for me. It just didn't feel comfortable. I don't know how else to describe it. It didn't feel comfortable. Don't touch me. It just didn't feel comfortable. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. It's something to work through. But when you say that, it just indicates like it was just probably a lack of compatibility. It just wasn't the one. That was the first and last. There was no more dates.
I think you might.
Because I didn't want you to hold my hand.
I have a friend who's very much like that, and I always push him to unpack what that's about because that will haunt your relationships. I think true intimacy, has nothing to do with sex.
Really,
it's nothing to do with sex.
True intimacy
has nothing to do with
sex.
No, I
agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I feel as though true intimacy can only be achieved when there is true love in approaching it. That's what I'm saying. So sex doesn't equate to love. Yeah. For some people, I know it. For some of you, I know it does. Mm-hmm. I hate to say for me, it does not. Mm-hmm. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Real intimacy comes through real time and real appreciation for the complexity of who you are and the thoughts that make up who you are. And that's why I identify as more of a sapiosexual than anything else. I can engage in intimacy or like physical intimacy and okay, go on down, do what you gotta do. Wop. Suck it up. But when it comes to like deeper than that, no.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. And so with hookup culture, well, how do you feel about husbands and couples going and out into like sex parties or bathhouses or all the hookup cruising and all the hookup stuff?
So I was live your life.
Live your life.
So there was a study that showed,
and if you're straight, people also live your life. No, live your life.
There's a study that showed that there's a high percentage of people already in relationships on dating apps. Whether they're dating, like they're like in full relationships, married.
What does that mean? Break that down.
So,
and if you're watching on TikTok, come to the YouTube. We need you on the YouTube. Come to YouTube. This is an excellent show. Better look. Watch it on YouTube. Okay.
So I think we as a society have this heteronormative, ultra Christian, which I think is hilarious because King Solomon had how many wives and how many concubines, and Everybody
Get a lot of them.
People in the Bible they had side pieces, but we have been taught that you're supposed to have sex with one person when you get married for the rest of your life, and that works for a lot of people. It works for a lot of people, but it also is not realistic for other individuals. So they find different ways that they can connect with other people, whether they sneak and get on dating apps, or couples are being open and transparent and saying, hey, let's go to this sex party together. I feel like if you're an adult and you're consenting, you get to do whatever you want. Unless you're not harming anybody and you're honest.
And it can help. And straight people, sometimes it can help the relationship. I ain't gonna lie. I absolutely love hooking up with couples now that I'm single. It has been a great joy and a wonderful experience. And I learned so much. Like there's so much depth in these conversations. There. Someone said Lamont is so small and compact, but so cute.
Thank you.
But so cute.
Thank you.
What does I think we've hit that. And we talked about also the personal healing. Mm-hmm. But let's go back to that, because imagine for people who are just now thinking, like, you know what? There are people who are watching this who want to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. They want that. But what is the advice that you give about healing and the work you should do before you get in the relationship?
Yeah. I think one of the reasons that some people actually don't get into relationships is because they're looking for the perfect man. Like they're looking for perfection. And no one is perfect unless you're going to marry an AI robot, which will probably be available in the next
Say it again. No one is perfect.
No one's perfect. And with that, if you know there's some areas that you need to work on, do the work. Do the work before. Because I think it's worth the investment of working on yourself now than keep getting into horrible relationship after horrible relationship because of some of the stuff that you have not resolved. Take the time. Do it now. It's worth it. It's worth it. Do it now.
It's worth the work. Mm-hmm. Get a therapy. Mm-hmm. Get a counselor. Do the work. Lamont, are you available for individuals?
Yes.
Or not really?
Absolutely.
Because I know you keep a full schedule.
I typically do about 30 to 40 dating coaching sessions a month.
How many?
30 to 40 dating coaching sessions a month. Yeah.
Let me tell you why that blows my motherfucking mind.
Yeah.
He's an Aquarius. Mm-hmm. I have a friend who's an Aquarius. Mm-hmm. He ain't finna do that much damn work. So I'm shocked. That's a lot of work.
You booking them. I book those, but I will tell you, I know what my mission is in life. I know what,
and this is mission-driven work.
It is not about the money. It is about building a community of gay men that are their most authentic selves. They got the skills to actually be in a relationship. So I will work with more people if I can help change a couple people. Yeah.
So this is funny, Keon. Here's the reality. I hate to admit, but I guess it's like all about being transparent on these at the dinner party. That's why I have the grape juice. I have been in 3 long-term relationships since being in Atlanta. I've been here for 22 years, and 17 of 22 years I'm in relationships. It's because I'm a relationship-oriented person. I love being in relationships. Someone probably says I shouldn't love being in relationships, but I actually do. I love having someone to come home to. I actually love when I'm not at home and I have someone to think about. I love being rooted and anchored and grounded in my relationship. A relationship for me gives me a focus and gives me like an anchor. I feel like I'm connected. I have someone to care about in this world. And I have a whole people, like families, a family. But when I'm single, I do kind of tend to make up for lost time. And I do like to see what's out in the world and to experiment and to explore and to just try new things. So I think that maybe like maybe you didn't know, but I thought people knew that. So Lamont, it's time for spicy questions.
Oh Lord, today.
But you know what we want? We're gonna because let me tell you what Lamont does on his Wednesday night show. Lamont starts off with like simple questions, so we're gonna start off with like this or that, simple questions, and then go into spicy questions. Okay. You've answered some of this. First one is texting or talking, and he's gonna say talking.
Okay.
Right.
Texting or talking in a relationship or dating, I would say talking.
Talking.
Yes.
Dinner dates or Netflix and chill?
Neither.
Okay, neither one.
Mm-mm.
So dinner isn't a good date?
Not for me.
Bitch, we be eating all the time.
I can. Yeah.
All my dates be good damn food. It's not the answer.
No.
You want us to bike ride and get all musty?
Let's go. Yeah. Yes.
Ass sweating down the cracks?
Yes. Let's go for a walk. Let's ride the bikes. Let's climb. I don't want to sit down and.
I like a little sweat too, I ain't gonna lie.
There you go.
Okay. Love at first sight or a slow building romance?
Slow building romance.
I love love at first sight, but all my relationships, those 3 long terms, all were slow. In the beginning, didn't find them attractive, and it built up to once I got to know them, I found them to be attractive. So I agree. Do we soft launch on social media once we're committed, or do we do like a full on hard launch,
a soft launch?
or even a no launch?
No, you notice people like, oh, you take pictures because you're just casually in a group of friends, and get another group of friends, and then it's just the 2 of y'all.
Ooh.
And then y'all announce it,
and then the world knows.
And the world knows.
Now this is therapy together, or first therapy separate.
Good. Therapy separate
is the beginning.
Separately, I have a reoccurring client of mine. Every time he starts dating a new person, he brings them to counseling. I'm like, too soon. It's too soon.
It's too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Oh, this is a controversial one. Exes staying friends, yes or no? Exes staying friends, yes or no?
Sure. Yes.
I'm friends with all 3 of my exes. I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
I'm a huge supporter of the new relationships that they're found, and I'm available for advice. And I try to support them because no relationship I've had, I mean, friends with all 3, very good friends.
Yeah.
And thankful that one of them is dating an Aquarius. And I love his new partner. Gorgeous man. A role model. He's a role model. First date kiss. Go for it or play it cool?
Go for it.
First date, it's okay to have a kiss.
Absolutely.
Sex on the first date.
Sure.
Head on the first date.
Sure.
Okay.
Again, it depends on your value on sex.
On the individual choice.
Yeah.
I think a first date peck on the lips is okay.
Absolutely.
But if you go down and go gobble, 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 I don't know about you ain't getting a second date. From me. Okay. I'm not as expansive as Lamont. I'm very old school.
That means the
very
hair wasn't good. The hair
very
wasn't
traditional.
good.
I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna tell you no. I'm not gonna tell you no, but I'm not gonna call you the next day and say yes. Your ideal man, emotionally available or financially stable. You only get one.
Emotionally available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, real quick for me, texting or talking on the phone, texting. Dinner date or Netflix and chill, dinner. Love at first sight or slow build. Soft lunch or hard lunch, probably no lunch. Don't get in my life. You don't have a right to know. Therapy together or therapy separate first, and then maybe together if there's a need. But work on you. That is one of my core beliefs. Throughout my relationship, my ex is very talented and very skilled at finding out what's wrong in the world. Many people in the medical field, that's their gift. They know how to find out what's wrong with you. And then sometimes I think for him, it translated into our life. So he was always coming up with everything that may have been not perfect or not right. And my response was always to well, I can only focus on me. I can't control another problem. I'm going to fix me. And I think it's important. And I think therapy for you helps you do that and bring that back to your marriage. Exes saying friends, yes or no, I think it's essential. I think that people who can't be friends with their ex, they need to have some issues with themselves and be worked through.
Yeah.
Because that relationship may have been toxic, or there's something that led to that not being friends. So I think it's important.
Unless you have a restraining order against that ex.
Well, that's different. Yeah. If it was violent or pain, that's different.
Yeah.
And then someone, your ideal man, emotionally available or financially stable, absolutely emotionally available, because we can build wealth together.
Yeah.
Spicy questions, Lamont. And you guys can drop some questions in here too. Spicy questions. This is about you, Lamont.
Okay.
And you top or bottom? Do you prefer a top or do you prefer a bottom?
R.
It's not a trick. You only get one. And you can't say I like them both.
You want me to lie on here then?
No, I want you to pick one of the two.
I have to pick. I will pick a bottom.
You pick a bottom.
Yes.
Hairy or shaved?
Hairy.
Cut or uncut? Yep, you want, but you have to have a preference. What is the preference? Tell the truth.
Cut.
Swallow or spit?
Spit. I got acid reflux.
Cis or trans? In a man, a cis man or a trans man?
Cis.
Do you call it a cock or a dick?
A dick.
Do you call them balls or nuts?
Nuts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all, I have to do them too, right?
Yes, please.
I really don't want to, but
yes.
a top or motherfucker, gotta have me a bottom.
Yeah.
Hairy or shaved? I gotta be fair because I could say both. They're equal, but probably prefer, I guess, shaved over the hairy. Cut or uncut? Well, I would say I would prefer the uncut over the cut, even though I'm not a fan of really that anyway. Swallow or spit? Bitch, you better swallow. And then cis or trans? You want the truth? I do love a good trans man.
There are some amazing.
I do love a good trans man.
Yes.
Do we call it a cock or a dick? Dick. Don't you come up in here talking about no cock. And balls or nuts. You said balls?
I said nuts.
Nuts. I say balls. I say balls. There's some big ass balls. There's some big ass balls over there.
I get a taste of my own medicine tonight.
You do, and that is the whole entire point of this with the gay dating coach. So we've had this is the last opportunity that you guys have to give and ask questions of Lamont here. And again, if you're watching on Twitter or you're watching on TikTok, leave the platforms just for a moment and follow me. The whole point of these Thursday night conversations, or if you're watching on Lamont's page, just come over to the Zactivist. God damn it! Bring your ass over to the motherfucking page and just follow, because I'm trying to grow the account because we have big things popping, little things stopping, big things popping, little things stopping. I have to grow the account. We're growing up. Yes. We did have, it's a dinner party. We had dinner. Lamont, tell the guests what we had for dinner.
Oh, with some roast beef, some green beans, mashed potatoes, and rolls. Very good. With some gravy. It's very good. Very good.
And it was roast beef. It was good.
Yes.
Our chef, both of these episodes that we've had these last 2 weeks, the chef has been Earl Wesley. You can find him on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Earl Wesley. He is a phenomenal personal chef. He can cater large parties, small events. This has not been a pro bono opportunity. I done paid this man good money, but I am glad that I did pay the money because the food has been good and it has indeed been worth it. It has indeed been worth it, I think.
Yes.
So again, last chance for you to ask questions when I go out to get the gift, people. The gift that I have, because I believe when you come into my home, you deserve a gift. We have some gifts for Lamont. Let me get Lamont's gifts.
Okay.
And Lamont, tell people how they can work with you.
And then Keon, we need to block you. I know Keon. Keon is in the comment section going off tonight. Keon, be on your best behavior, please. So if you want to work with me, you go to betterwaytomeet.com.
Too much shit.
What do you mean? You have to buy me anything. I'm coming to hang out.
I go overboard sometimes. I'm like, too much. So I'm gonna say this last.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with. We can
put the receipt away, friend. Put the receipt away.
This is for me. This is mine. These are they were on sale from what's this place? Crate and Barrel. It's Williams and number, but the shit's all Crate and Barrel to me, so I call it Crate and Barrel. I call it the whiter version of Crate and Barrel. Okay. They had these. It says it's like Easter gummies, and they were like 50% off. And I was like, I'm gonna get them Easter gummies. We'll see if they're good. And so here's your gift number one.
Oh, let me.
This is gift.
Thank you.
This is first gift.
Let's see.
Yep. Yeah. What we got?
We have some. What is this candy?
Some gay shit. I just
some
got it because it's
almonds.
rainbow because your ass is so gay. Coach.
I'm
Gay dating
gay.
coach.
I hit the rainbow.
It's super gay. Do you like almonds?
This is how gay I am. I
Yeah.
like the gays like nuts, right?
Yeah, the gays like the nuts.
Gay nuts.
It's kind of like a gag gift.
I'm gonna eat these though.
They might be good, but I don't know if they're good.
We'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. And okay, we got a coffee.
I love it. Don't you love it?
And it's an Aquarius coffee mug, people.
We just throw it on the floor.
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
Yeah, it's an Aquarius. And so, do you? Look, what does it say inside?
Oh, and
These are the traits of an Aquarius. You see me if they're right.
Inviting, friendly, loyal, inventive, friendly. Yes, I think all these describe me perfectly.
And it's cool. I love the front of it. Like it's a.
And we do typically we do tea in the morning.
Oh, that's good.
So
you a tea over coffee?
I can't do coffee. I'm already on 100, so I just do tea. So we actually do and we don't have matching mugs because we have our own separate mugs. So this is perfect.
Listen, if you live in Atlanta, that was the whiter version. That came from the whiter version of Crate and Barrel, Williams Sonoma. But this is actually one of my absolute favorite stores in the city of Atlanta. It's called Nomad. And so I'm hoping to make a little money from some contract work this year to be able to do a little bit of furniture, decorating some new furniture. And I really want my home to be very like modern African chic look. Nomad has some amazing pieces from all over Africa. Most of these things come from Africa. And these are this is one of my favorite stores. And I got some stuff here. I went in here just for you to see what can I find for Lamont. And I found some stuff for me, but let's see if you like what I found for you.
Okay, let's see. We get a drum roll. It's pretty heavy.
Pull out the whole thing.
Hold on. I like
hold
that.
it up, right? Right. So it's a part of the gift.
Okay, let's see.
It's a nice little like.
It's like a hold on, let's see.
Over there. And so these two do go together. You have like an incense holder, but then you have my favorite incense, and it is Moroccan cedar. I love the way it smells.
Okay, and we got a book.
Show them the book because I love her. Listen, people, I love her so much.
So this is Salvation, Black People in Love. Okay.
From Bell Hooks. I love Bell Hooks. She is one of my role models, one of my favorites, one of my inspirations. I love her so much.
Okay, so listen,
you're gonna love that book.
I'm doing some traveling.
You're gonna love that book. But not only would you love that book, you're gonna love this book. Alexander, hold it up, show the people. This is called How We Heal, and it's by an author named Alexandria L. She goes by Alex L on Instagram. That's how I found her. This is a book that I often give to people, especially people like Lamont who are therapists and counselors. Oh my God. Oh, so much information, so much knowledge. It's a collection of interviews that Alex has done with Black women around the country about their lives, their relationships, what they've dealt with. You will love that book. Okay?
You're going to have me crying reading these books.
I mean, that's what you need. You got to take care of you.
And so my husband and actually my nephew, the youngest one, he loves incense.
Oh, you're going to love that incense. I wish you could
smell it.
Oh, I love that smell. I love that smell. And the last gift also came
from all these gifts?
Well, because I thought, I get the gifts based on the person and what I think the person will like.
Yeah, your love language is gift giving.
This is the gift you're gonna actually like the most.
Okay.
I was like, when I think of Lamont, this is some shit I think that he would love. Okay. Pull it out. No, really. This is what I think he's gonna like the most. Look at that. Because bitch, he got a man. He got a motherfucker learn how to keep him. Get your ass in there, cook.
Art is the cooker in the house.
Well, give it to Art. Give it to Art.
I do a good cleanup.
Yeah, and so you guys can share that. And it's like, again, the gay dating coach. Those, I've seen you wear a lot of denim and a good, so definitely got that there.
Thank you so much.
And, here's a question that did come in. As a therapist, how do you heal yourself? How do you maintain your own mental health? How do you maintain your balance?
So I would good question because people are like, well, how does the healer heal? Right. Definitely, I have an amazing, when I say absolutely amazing village, and one is my husband. He gets to help me from jumping off a ledge all the time. I will say that I have very close friends. I will say if you want to make sure your mental health is good, make sure you have friends around you that you can trust and that hold you accountable, who support you and who are genuine. And then also
gotta have so it's the village.
Yes.
And it's friends that will hold you accountable.
Yeah. And a good counselor. You got to have a therapist or a mentor or somebody actually that you can have some intimate one-on-one conversations with. Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, that has been, I think, a phenomenal chat, my friend. I appreciate your time. You coming over. I have had a great time. Hopefully, you have had a great time. Hopefully, you've learned a lot. And we will see you again next week. I think it will be on Thursday. I think I'm returning on Thursday. Well, here's another last question. Now, next week, I'll be traveling, and I have a big surprise for you. So follow my social media for the big surprise. Y'all must see somebody you all know and love and care a great deal about on Wednesday. I'm serious. It's a big exclusive. I'm seeing a big exclusive. No, it's not Beyonce, but bitch, it's just like right up there with Beyonce. So I have been invited to see somebody really big on Wednesday, but I should be back in Atlanta at some point on Thursday, hopefully in time to do. I'm gonna book hopefully a morning flight from this time zone. Hint, hint, hint. To get my ass back here for the planned show, and this was all arranged today. Well, how do you know if a therapist is right for you?
So
I struggle with that.
I feel like it's sometimes a luck of the draw because you may go to a therapist and you might not feel like they hear or they understand you. I feel like as long as you are getting results, like you are feeling
that you're getting progress towards closing gaps or growing or answers.
And therapy does not feel good. I think a lot of people want to go to therapy and feel good. But if you go to the gym, your muscles hurt, right? And so does growth and healing. And sometimes people go to therapy and they're like, I don't like the way the therapist made me feel. Why? Because they pushed you. Because they're pushing you to grow. I would say lean into it. Lean into it. But try to find, I think the best thing is find a therapist that understands your culture, Excuse me, it's the wine.
No, yeah.
That understands your culture.
It's been good grape.
It's been amazing. I'm sorry. It's been good wine.
DAOU wine. DAOU is a Cabernet, but it's really a grape juice.
Yeah, they need to understand your culture, but also whatever issue or concern you're working on.
Yeah. That's key.
Yeah.
That is key. Well, Bradley, we have enjoyed you. I have immensely enjoyed it. Lamont, thank you so much. Listen, follow this man on Instagram and on YouTube. His Instagram is The Gay Dating Coach. His YouTube is The Gay Dating Coach. And again, he's live. And there's so many. Listen, for you heterosexuals, you are about to have a damn treat. You are about to go through some content on this man's YouTube, and you are going to laugh. You are going to laugh until you cry. It is excellent content up there. Excellent content. Lamont, who has been the best? Who are some of your guests that have been absolute standouts? Oh, because I stuck to my little questions. I don't want to fuck it up, but I got to have. I gotta try. Who are some of your people that have been on the show that you just like? They were just memorable guests.
So there have been a couple iconic, like they live in my head rent free. One is a guy out of Philadelphia who was probably darker than me. One time he came on the show and he denied the fact that he was Black.
What do you mean? He said he was what?
He was like Native American. He said he was Native American. I said, you are the darkest. I want to say, you're the darkest.
What Lamont does when his guests do that, he'll do this laugh. He'll do that laugh. And then the people in the comments eat that ass up.
You're the darkest Native American I've ever seen.
Baby, Candace Owens was a guest on the damn show. Which guest gave you Lamont? I'm gonna be honest with you. Many of the guests you've had are people who I know in Atlanta. But Memphis Strokes was one of the best interviews you've ever done, in my opinion. Okay. It was so well handled. I'm like, Lamont is excellent. I can't sit here and say that, like Shannon Sharp, you let some shit. You did. It was an excellent job.
Hmm.
You handled things with professionalism and the grace of a professional, but you did not let it go. The things that really needed to be asked. So Memphis Strokes is a performer in a certain community behind the paywall, but he was married, and these things we didn't know these things, and it came out in his Shoot Your Shot. Were you able to connect him with maybe a future partner? Did he get a love match there?
I don't know. So one thing about the dating show on Wednesday, it is literally what you see is what you get.
You don't follow up with those people.
No,
why not?
No.
We want to know I want Memphis Strokes to find love.
I have a full-time job.
His story was sad. That actually touched me in a way. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm a little bit different. I think, like, when I saw it, I was disappointed, but I was also really sad. And I thought to myself, this man's life has been sad. That he couldn't live in his truth. He couldn't be himself. And now he's a little bit older, and now he's living out these moments. I was really sad for him.
Yeah. So
I want you to find him love. I'll give you $50. I'll give you $50 to find Memphis Strokes a man.
So again, I don't do cookie cutter.
You need a big cup for Memphis Strokes.
I'm just saying. So if he were to approach me for a one-on-one dating coaching session, I would work with him, and that's what I work with a lot of people.
Yeah. He's got to do this. He's got to put in the. And here's the thing. Let me tell you something about that. Right. You have to invest in what you want. Lamont is not cheap, but again, you're getting a top tier service. You have literally sat here and heard this man speak. You have heard the wisdom that has come out of his mouth and the earned knowledge of his education and his life experiences coalescing together to give you what he gives his clients. So I think that is like a really big deal. And I think that, it's going to be pricey for some of you, but I think it's worth it.
Yep. And this guy, someone in the comments said, who's it? Andre?
Oh yeah.
So you beat me to it. I was gonna say it.
God.
So there was a guy that came on that was visually impaired.
I couldn't watch it. I would cry.
Oh, I did cry. I did cry. Like and what I loved about him is that even in his impairment, he has the courage to not give up on love. He has the courage to put himself out there. Like he said, I get my sister to drive me to certain places so I can go to the club or go to social events to meet people. And he starts singing. And what did I start doing? I start crying on Instagram because I was just so touched about just his genuine heart. And there are some miserable people out there.
Yeah.
And I get that there are some jaded people out there. He has experienced a lot of dating rejection, and he still does not let that
How old is he?
Stop him from trying to find love. In his 30s. So it's not like he's young. It's like, oh no, he has experienced a lot of dating rejection. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna find me a husband. So I think that was one of my episodes that I really love. I think it's pinned on my Instagram too. Yes.
I'm gonna go and look at that.
Yes, you'll love it. Yes.
Yeah. Says Zach is crowdfunding for Memphis Strokes. We will make it happen. Now, here's another. I've got to ask this because now it's like unscripted. The questions that I haven't watched the show. The questions have come in when you have the what's the right word for it? When you have non-Black people who join in seeking, how have you handled that? Like, sometimes it's been racist, fetishization. It's been you handle it well, but how do you handle it so well?
So here's the thing that I struggle with, and I think people see my face. My name is Lamont. It's a Black name, so they automatically assume that everything that I do is supposed to be just for Black people,
and it's not. You have white clients,
and it is absolutely not. I work with everybody, regardless of your age and your race. Long as you have a penis, you're cisgender man, I work with you. I even do dating coaching sessions with women sometimes to teach them to kind of stay out of the friend zone when they go on dates. So when white people come onto the show, Asian people come on the show, I'm like
Latinos,
I'm like, yes, come on. Like I think it rubs me the wrong way when Black people try to say, "Oh, this space is not for you."
That offends you. It makes
It does, because if we were to go into their spaces,
as we do,
and we do,
some of us do,
and they say that to us, we'd be pissed.
I don't go to Blake's.
I'm not calling out no places.
I don't go in their spaces.
But if they blatantly say,
I don't go in Atlanta, baby. I don't go into them spaces.
But how would you feel if
you stay in my spaces?
If you went to, let's say, let me think of another
Blake's, place. I ain't never felt comfortable.
I can't think of a place right now. If you went to Bar Taco to get some food,
I don't go to Bar Taco.
I like Bar Taco.
I hate it.
And they were like, "No, we don't want Black people." Or no.
But so if I went into my actual, I have an actual Mexican restaurant I love going to.
Yeah.
If I went into my real Mexican restaurant in Atlanta called El Vejon, I love the restaurant, and I'm always one of the only Black people in there.
Yeah.
No white. It's all Mexican. It's really authentic. And they were like, "We don't want you here." I would be like, I understand.
Yeah.
This is your space. Like, seriously. You
would say you understand.
Let me tell you what I did. No, Lamont, no lie. Let me tell you what I did. During all this bullshit after like Trump was inaugurated, I try to go there once a week, and it's all the way up in Chamblee. But I try to go once a week to eat at El Vejon to let them know I am here, I support, and I always give a 30% tip.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their clientele, they're afraid to leave the house and be in their space where there are lots of them together because of the mass deportation efforts.
Yeah. No, my platform is open to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you feel that you're equipped to counsel some of those complex fetishes?
Absolutely. I'm the perfect
So
person
what if
to
you had
do
a
it.
white client who said that he likes race play and he wants a Black slave?
I would say you need to go to therapy, and that's not part of the service I provide.
Okay.
You see this face? That's exactly how I would say it.
Okay.
So you need more counseling, and I can't provide that for you.
Have you ever had a situation where you've had clients that had those out the box fetishes and kinks that you were like, I'm not dealing with this?
I had a modern day Jeffrey Dahmer approach me to sign up for my matchmaking service. The man sent me pictures of his house in California, and he wanted me to send him on dates with Black men. And I said, well, I tried to do it. I can't do a background because I do background checks. Yeah. You can find no information about him whatsoever. And I asked him about, like, why can't I find anything about you on social media or even when I run a background check on you? He gave some story about having to remove himself from like everything. And I said, okay, I'm not the best person to work with you.
Oh my God.
I meet a lot of people and they come in different shapes and sizes, a lot of strange people. So
you have to decline some people and say, I can't work with you.
Absolutely.
Have you ever declined someone because of appearance and say, I just know I can't help you?
So I had a guy who signed up for my service. And part of my thing is matchmaking is not like buying a car.
It's not.
It's like building a car because we're building.
See, he dropped another aha moment in the after show. Matchmaking is not like buying a car. It's literally like building a car.
Because we're building you and your relationship. So he showed up, teeth all over the place. Never. I said, hey, well, can you tell me about like your dental care? Like, how do you keep up with it? He says, I'm afraid to go to the dentist. I haven't gone to the dentist in 10 years.
If he lives in Atlanta, he can go and see my dentist, Arjun Parikh. He was my former student. He's an amazing dentist.
He's terrified of going to the dentist. I said, well, hey, if I take you on as a client, that is something that we're going to have to work on. That. We have like that. He says, no, I want someone who's okay with all this. Couldn't work with him. Couldn't. Yeah. And it wasn't that like they were crooked. They were like
decaying.
Yes.
He's going to need to have like, those teeth fixed. He's going to have to get those teeth fixed to maintain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are realities. So again, you can find Lamont, the Day Getting Coach, on Instagram and YouTube, and you can check out all of his services on betterwaytomeet.com. Betterwaytomeet.com. And again, Lamont is the king of this. There is no one better. With that being said, thank you guys for checking us out and tuning in. And I'll see you next Thursday. Whole new show, whole new guest, whole new topic down to the dinner party. Good night.